जस्ट हिंदी के सारे व्यूअर्स को नमस्कार। आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम स्ट्रेट टॉक एंड मैं आश्मिता। यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में पिछले 2 हफ्तों से लगातार प्रोटेस्ट्स चल रहे हैं। एक अनआर्म्ड अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन इंसान के मर्डर को लेके 2 हफ्ते एग्जैक्टली हो गए हैं जब जॉर्ज फ्लॉयड को एक पुलिस ऑफिसर ने कस्टडी में उसकी जिस तरह उसको ट्रीट किया उसकी वजह से जॉर्ज फ्लॉयड की कस्टडी में मौत हो गई। उस दिन से लेके डिफरेंट एक्शंस लिए गए हैं ताकि जस्टिस सर्व हो, लेकिन जो यहाँ की पब्लिक है एंड आप ये भी कह सकते हैं दुनिया भर में लोग इस चीज़ को देख के प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि जो इनक्वालिटी इस एक्शन में डिस्प्ले हुई एंड जो और डिफरेंट इससे पहले इंसिडेंट्स चाहे आप रीसेंट मेमोरी में देख लें या अगर आप इस कंट्री के पूरी हिस्ट्री को देख लें, जिस तरह की रेशियल इनक्वालिटी खास करके अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन के ख़िलाफ़ यहाँ देखने को मिलती है, उस चीज़ को रोकने के लिए, उस चीज़ को बदलने के लिए प्रोटेस्ट वर्ल्ड वाइड खास करके यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में चल रहे हैं। बट मैं इस टॉपिक को थोड़ा सा अपनी कम्युनिटी की तरफ लेके जाना चाहती हूँ बिकॉज़ जो हमारी रिसर्च रही है, जो हमारी कन्वर्सेशंस हुई हैं लोकली यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में रहने वाले उन इंडिविजुअल्स के साथ जो इस चीज़ से अफेक्टेड हैं या नहीं अफेक्टेड, जैसे हमारे बिजनेसमैन, उनमें काफ़ी सारी ऐसे कमेंट्स निकले जो इंडिकेट करते हैं कि जिस रेसिज्म को ये प्रोटेस्टर्स रोकने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं वो रेसिज्म अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारी अपनी कम्युनिटी में भी देखने को मिलती है, ख़ास करके अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन के अगेंस्ट। जहाँ रेसिज्म हम कहते हैं कि जो वाइट सिटीजन्स हैं इस कंट्री के, जो गोरे हैं, उनको नहीं करनी चाहिए, देन हम भी उस चीज़ में शामिल हैं। एंड जहाँ हम रेशियल इक्वालिटी की बात करते हैं, अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन की राइट्स, सिविल राइट्स की बात करते हैं, वो एक ऐसा टॉपिक है, वो सिर्फ अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन को नहीं अफेक्ट करता, वो हम सब पे अप्लाई होता है, ख़ास करके इंडियंस पे, बिकॉज हम भी उस ब्लैक एंड ब्राउन कैटेगरी में आते हैं, हम भी इमिग्रेंट्स हैं इस कंट्री में। ये सारी चीज़ें मैं आपके साथ आज डिस्कस करूँगी एंड इस टॉपिक पे थोड़ा सा हमें जो हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव है उसके बारे में जानकारी देने के लिए एंड जो मूविंग फॉरवर्ड अगर आप इन्वॉल्व होके इस चीज़ को सपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं उसके बारे में जानकारी शेयर करने के लिए हमारे गेस्ट हमें ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। सबसे पहले मैं आपको इंट्रोड्यूस कराना चाहती हूँ हमारे इस्टीम्ड गेस्ट के साथ जो हमें इस इवनिंग कैलिफोर्निया से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। प्लीज़ वेलकम मिस्टर समीर कालरा जो कि मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं एट द हिंदू अमेरिकन फाउंडेशन। So first of all, Mr. Kalra, welcome to the program.
Namaste. Thank you so much
Namaste.
for having me. My pleasure to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you, Samir. Samir, सबसे पहले तो मैं ये चाहूँगी कि आप you are managing director at the Hindu American Foundation. ये एक ऐसी संस्था है जो सालों से एक इक्वालिटी की बात कर रही है, जो हिंदू धर्म में पुराने से एडवोकेट हो रहा है, बट यू आर डूइंग इट इन मॉडर्न अमेरिका। सबसे पहले जो हमारे व्यूअर्स नहीं जानते इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में, आई लव कि आप थोड़ा सा हमें ब्रीफ में बताइए कि हिंदू अमेरिकन फाउंडेशन किस तरह की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, किस तरह का काम आप इतने सालों से यहाँ कर रहे हैं।
जी बिल्कुल। So the Hindu American Foundation is a national nonprofit advocacy organization. It's a voice for the Hindu American community, ranging from issues such as immigration to make sure that those that are coming here to this country are able to benefit from equal immigration laws, going through green card reform, for instance, making sure that those that are H-1B visas don't have to wait for decades to get their green cards, ensuring that Hindu Americans are protected from hate crimes, to make sure that our civil rights and our civil liberties are protected, and to also speak out on human rights and religious freedom internationally. We do a lot of work to give voice to Hindu minorities across the world, from countries such as Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, to the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir, where Kashmiri Pandits have been ethnically cleansed. And we also speak out on behalf of those other minorities that are similarly situated in some of these countries that are facing civil rights and human rights issues as well. So we're basically a voice for the Hindu American community to make sure Hindus are understood, make sure our issues are heard by policymakers, by the media, and to also make sure that our religion and our beliefs are not misrepresented in the media or in textbooks, and to make sure that we basically have a seat at the table.
जी थैंक यू फॉर एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट आपने बड़ी अच्छी तरीके से हमें इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में बताया सो आई एम ग्लैड वी कैन शेयर दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन विद आवर व्यूअर्स जो हम आज टॉपिक पे बात कर रहे हैं जॉर्ज फ्लॉयड को लेके जो कंट्री वाइड यू कैन इवन से वर्ल्ड वाइड प्रोटेस्ट चल रहे हैं यू नो once again a lot of the response in our community has been of indifference, right? That okay हो रहा है हमें ज़्यादा affect नहीं करता so we don't really care about it, right? It's not that they don't support it but they're not actively supporting it either. So I want to start because HAF is doing some work on this, right? And we'll get to that in a minute. But first, you know, I want you to tell us what it is, you know, in regards to this particular situation, what statement has HAF put out?
Absolutely. So at the Hindu American Foundation, we felt that it was very important that our Hindu Dharma actually commanded us really to speak out on this issue of racial equality and the injustice that happened to George Floyd, but not just what happened to George Floyd, but what's really been happening systematically to African Americans in this country for hundreds of years, starting from slavery to segregation and Jim Crow laws that basically denied them the right to vote, even counted them as less than an entire human being, to the modern day where they are systematically oppressed, whether it's issues of police brutality, whether it's systemic issues of opportunity in education and other areas. And so as Hindus, we felt that it's very important. Our dharma talks about that we all are divine. Doesn't matter from the smallest being to humans, doesn't matter what our race is, doesn't matter what our background is, we all are divine. We share the same Atma. We all, you know, are one family. You know, there's a beautiful saying in Sanskrit, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Basically, the universe is one family. And so given that, we felt that what was happening to African Americans, and in this most recent case with George Floyd, that Hindus as a whole and Indians from a more broader perspective needed to speak out because it's our duty to fight against injustice wherever it takes place, and to ensure that all humans are treated equally, regardless of whether they're Indian, whether they're African American, Chinese, Latino, it doesn't matter. And so that was the impetus for us to speak out on this issue and to really release a statement of solidarity with the African American community and a commitment for our community to really fight that injustice and to stand shoulder to shoulder with the African American community.
जी जी समीर जी ये आपने बहुत important point raise किया that we have to stand in solidarity with this minority group. As one minority group, we have to stand with this other minority group because unity में ही सबका progress है. But यहाँ पे हम एक छोटे से break के लिए रुकते हैं. आप हमारे साथ जुड़े रहे. Viewers को मैं बताना चाहती हूँ प्रोग्राम बिल्कुल live जा रहा है. आप कॉल करके अपने questions, comments समीर जी के साथ हमारे साथ बिल्कुल रख सकते हैं. मिलते हैं break के बाद. Welcome back from the break. आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम स्ट्रेट टॉक एंड बात हो रही है मिस्टर समीर कालरा के साथ जो हिंदू अमेरिकन फाउंडेशन में मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर के तौर पे इन्वॉल्व हैं. समीर जी वेलकम बैक टू द प्रोग्राम. समीर जी हम आज डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि फंडामेंटली क्यों हमारे जो साउथ एशियंस या इंडियन अमेरिकन्स खास करके why they should care and not just care but ultimately support all of the injustices and the calls for reform जो यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में via protest आज की डेट में डिमांड हो रही है. इस चीज़ में हिंदू अमेरिकन फाउंडेशन ने भी एक स्टैंड लिया है. यू वॉकड अस थ्रू नॉट जस्ट व्हाट द फाउंडेशन डज एंड क्या आपके यू नो कोर फिलॉसफी में इस तरह की इक्वालिटी बसी हुई है बट स्पेसिफिकली इस सिचुएशन को लेके आपने जो स्टेटमेंट रिलीज़ की है. यू नो you've kind of told us what's in the statement but I want you to once again reiterate why should people sign on to it? Because there is a petition jo aap circulate kar rahe ho, you want people to sign on. I think today's the cutoff, if I'm not wrong. So some people might have missed it. But I still want to draw attention because in organizations such as yourself, you are leading by example, right? And jo aap is statement, is call to action ke saath kar rahe hain, us cheez ko dekh ke shayad aap bakiyon ko inspire kare that they should care about this. So once again, जो हमें कुछ comments ऐसे सुनने को मिलते हैं, the indifference in our community when it comes to Black Lives Matter movement, for example. If you had to say a few words, right? Why should South Asians care about the Black Lives Matter movement?
Sure. So I do want to start out by acknowledging that we have gotten a lot of positive feedback from our statement from within the community, which is a great sign. The other thing is that there has been a quite significant participation of many Indian American, Hindu American, South Asian American leaders. I know in the Bay Area here, where I'm based in California, as well as other parts of the country who have themselves participated in the march, marches across the country. My executive director, for instance, Suhag Shukla, who's based in Philadelphia, is actually with her whole family attended 2 protests.
Wow.
And so I think the community is doing, they are acting, but I think more needs to be done. You're right on that front. And to that note, I think why the community needs to do more, why we need to care, for a couple of reasons. One is that, we have all, for the most part as a community, achieved great success in this country. Many of us, are doctors, lawyers, engineers, whatnot, business owners, and we owe a debt of gratitude to this country. However, we do have to acknowledge that there has been a history of discrimination, not just against African Americans, but against the Indian American community as well. So this issue is not just one that is affecting one community. Right now, it's obviously focused on the African American community, and their experience is much more intense than our experience. But there was a time in this country where Indian Americans were also discriminated against. We were prevented from immigrating to this country, prevented from holding equal citizenship rights in this country. We were prevented from owning land in this country. We were prevented from voting in this country. There was a lot of animosity, bigotry, and hatred against Indian Americans from riots in Bellingham, Washington, where there was a lot of anti-Hindu and anti-Sikh rhetoric, to California. So there is a history of discrimination in this country, not just against African Americans, but against many communities that we have to acknowledge. And we have to understand this is a shared struggle. This is something that we have to work together to reform because it affects all of us. It affects African Americans today. It's going to affect somebody else in the future. And so our goal as Americans, regardless of whether we're Indian Americans or Asian Americans or any community, is really that we have to strive to create an equal system, equal opportunity, and really fight for justice and equality for all, because the freedoms that we have achieved in this country, they're very delicate, and at any time that we can be on the receiving end of discrimination. Again, we do in fact still face discrimination in this country, despite all our success. We face a great deal of misunderstanding. We face hate crime still. And so there is still issues that need to be worked on, and all these issues are related because inherently the system, there are inequities, there are issues in the system that need to be systematically dealt with. So our community needs to deal with them, not just because it's important for the African American community, but inevitably it has affected us, and it does affect us, and it will continue to affect our children and future generations in this country.
Absolutely. Sameerji, there is this long-standing historical relationship between Indian immigrants and African Americans in their fight, in their struggle for equal rights in this country that goes back, over 100 years. But before we get to the history of this relationship, of the partnership that has existed between these two cultures for so long, I want to talk a little bit about collective action, right? Because at the end of the day, HAF is calling on the community to come together to act. You have your own petition on the website. You have put out a statement, HAF has put out a statement specifically in terms of George Floyd and what needs to happen, and how people can show solidarity. But let's talk about the importance of collective movement for a bit. So, the George Floyd Floyd issue is a perfect example. George Floyd was killed exactly 2 weeks ago, 2 Mondays ago, in police custody. But it was only after, the thing kind of grew and public outrage really overtook, mainstream media and social media and conversations, that the officer who was the primary officer responsible, Derek Chauvin, जिसने अपना घुटना George Floyd की गर्दन पे रखा almost 9 minutes के लिए, that he was even charged with something, right? And then increasing public pressure, I'm sure, as well as investigations caused that to go, caused more and more charges, for example, to be put on the table, caused for more reforms to be proposed, right? I mean, we've gone as so far as just today we saw that Minneapolis City Council has proposed effectively disbanding the police department. So this has all happened in a matter of 2 weeks, and so much of it has to do with people coming together, forcing this change, right? So once again, at HAF, you are a nonprofit organization that is working to facilitate the same kind of change by bringing people together. Tell us about, from your perspective, how important it is when people come together like this and how much change we can actually accomplish.
It's absolutely critical. I mean, from our perspective, there's nothing really that can be achieved, whether we're the Hindu American Foundation or you're the NAACP or any organization, unless you have others also giving voice to those particular issues. We always try to work with coalitions. We try to bring other groups on board to what we're trying to achieve. And similarly, we join other coalitions to support their work. Right. And I think you rightly pointed out that the momentum grew because so many other voices were coming out in support. It was not just because African Americans were out there raising their voices on these issues. It was because white Americans were raising their voices on these issues. It was because Asian Americans, including South Asian Americans and Indian Americans, were raising their voices on this issue. And it was because it reached such a point where it could no longer be ignored. And so collective action, I mean, we can see it throughout history, whether in India or here, is absolutely necessary to really bring actual positive change. Our voice is only so strong by itself, but we need to amplify our voice by building coalitions, working with other groups, supporting other groups, and really working towards positive reform and change. I do want to add, I think there has been a lot of positive legislation and reforms that are being introduced. I do think, though, that we do need to acknowledge also that there has been some damage done, unfortunately, and some within our own community have suffered because a few have chosen to loot and riot, which not just undermines the whole message from that these peaceful protests are trying to achieve, but also is affecting African American small business owners themselves in the same communities that these people live in. It's also been affecting a lot of Indian American community around the country, and so we definitely acknowledge that, and we absolutely condemn that.
Absolutely.
And there's no place for rioting and all that, and any sort of looting or violence. And we only support collective action when it is peaceful and non-violent and based on the concept of ahimsa.
जी, I'm glad you make that distinction, because especially आज की date में जब there are people that want to discredit this movement, right? This is a very easy thing, खास करके मीडिया में ऐसे images बहुत power hold करते हैं जब आप देखते हो कि looting and the cars and shops being set on fire. It really changes the conversation in the negative way. So I'm glad you mentioned that specifically we're talking about the positive and the peaceful protests here. Sameer ji, we're going to stop for another break. Please stay with us. आप भी जुड़े रहो. Conversation ऐसे ही जारी रहेगी break के बाद. Welcome back from the break. आप देख रहे हैं Straight Talk, and बात हो रही है कि कैसे हम सारे कलेक्टिव एक्शन के साथ रेशियल इनजस्टिस को होपफुली कुछ डिफीट कर सकते हैं, बट दिस इज़ अ लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रगल दैट विल बी ऑन गोइंग. सो हमारी कम्युनिटी का क्या रोल होना चाहिए उस चीज़ में डिस्कस करने के लिए हमें ज्वाइन करें हमारे गेस्ट मिस्टर समीर कालरा, who is the managing director with Hindu American Foundation. Sameer ji, once again, welcome back to the program. Sameer ji, now I really want to cover some of the की historical alliances जो exist किए हैं between Indians and African Americans in their struggle for civil rights in this country. I mean, Swami Vivekananda, who toured the U.S., in 1893, I believe it was having these conversations with African Americans. Lala Lajpat Rai, who was here, was communicating with W.E.B. Du Bois, who is this obviously a very prominent African American scholar in American history. So these alliances were there, and there was some shared kind of collaboration almost between the Indians fighting for freedom, in India in the 40s, and African Americans going through segregation and Jim Crow in the United States. You have a unique perspective on this. You are very well versed in some of these alliances. थोड़ा सा आप हमें बताइए, how does history show us between African Americans and Indians working together?
So there's actually a really beautiful history of shared collaboration, of shared learning from Indians and African Americans, as you mentioned, dating back to 1893 in Swami Vivekananda. When Swami Vivekananda first came here in 1893 and he spoke at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago, a lot of his speech was focused on intolerance and discrimination and how it was a poison in the world. And he really uplifted, the dharmic and Indic traditions of India as a solution because of the pluralism and the pluralistic ethos that we have. And he condemned racial discrimination. He saw it firsthand when he was here. And many of his subsequent writings and speeches, he talked about the evil of racism and what African Americans were facing here in the US. And similarly, he's actually been quoted. I think it was Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, Coretta Scott King, actually quoted from Swami Vivekananda from his talk, and saying that his statement on intolerance was one of the most powerful that she has heard. And so it really starts there. And as you mentioned, kind of moving forward into the early 1900s, many of the Indian freedom fighters came and spent time in the US to try to gain support for the Indian independence movement, and also conversely gave support to the African American struggle for freedom here and equality here in the US. Lala Lajpat Rai, who of course was the Lion of Punjab and did so much, an Arya Samaj leader and did so much for the Indian independence movement, spent a number of years in the US, and he met with many African American leaders, as you mentioned, W.B. Du Bois. He met with the founders of the NAACP, the largest African American civil rights organization around right now, Booker T. Washington, and many others. And they shared ideas, they influenced each other, and he struck up a personal friendship with W.E.B. Du Bois and had a great deal of influence on him and how he eventually some of his ideas for the civil rights movement here in the U.S. And so there was a common, there's a common brotherhood, for lack of a better term, between, because they all represented people of color, whether we're brown or African American or black, that they face similar struggles. Obviously, different contexts, colonial rule in India and here a different struggle, but there were commonalities, and that they realized that they had to work together. They had to support each other's movements in order to advance and progress. And that's exactly what happened. And, I think it's ironic that Lala Lajpat Rai actually died from police brutality. I mean, he was beaten by British colonial military police officers. And so you can see some of the parallels that are there. You can see the influence. And of course, I would be, I can't talk about this subject without talking about the influence of Mahatma Gandhi ji on and his satyagraha and his influence here in the US on Dr. Martin Luther King. And even before Dr. Martin Luther King, some of his mentors actually traveled to India. Many traveled to India. African American leaders traveled to India to learn about satyagraha and the concepts of ahimsa, and met with Mahatma Gandhi ji and learned from him. And of course, although he never met with Martin Luther King Jr., they exchanged ideas. They influence each other. And so you see really, from the 1800s all the way up to the 1940s, a real collaboration, a real kindred sense of kinship between the communities. And I think that, it's something that we need to revitalize here, here in the U.S.
Samirji, of course, we want to keep the conversation positive, but sometimes that means confronting harsh realities and harsh truths about our own history, right? So something changed in the 40s, and the subsequent wave of immigrants kind of moved away from that relationship with African Americans, right? And even today, there is a generational divide in how Indian Americans perceive African Americans or the relationship with them, right? So from a historical perspective, what changed after the 40s to where we are today, and how does the generational perspective, खास करके जब हम इंडिया में बात करते हैं, इंडिया में जो caste system है हमारी community में, it's ingrained in our culture. Whether you support it or you completely just dispel it and want to get rid of it, it is a part of our identity and our history, right? So how does that factor in, and then what kind of mindset were Indian immigrants bringing to the United States after the 40s that kind of changed some of these relationships?
Sure. So it wasn't until 1965 that immigrants from India weren't really allowed into the U.S. When the immigration system opened up, and weren't really allowed into the U.S. in large numbers until then. And so at that time, you saw a lot more students coming into the country. You saw a lot more highly educated professionals, or those that were coming here to work in the tech industry as engineers and other professional vocations. Or even others that were coming here to start businesses and whatnot. And I think, and I don't necessarily blame them, because I think as an immigrant, you first want to try to make it for your family. You want to assimilate to some extent. You want to make sure that you are able to financially provide for your family, that your kids get a good education. So I think the main concern, as are for many waves of immigrants, is always to try to, make sure that you kind of do what's in the best interest of your family and your community first. And so I don't necessarily blame them, but I think that was a focus initially with those waves of immigration. That's maybe where you got away from that, that collaboration in the past. I think the other part of it is that, it ended up being part of this model minority myth, right? That Indian Americans are here, they're successful, and so let's lump them into the category of the good minority, as opposed to those that are African Americans that are the bad minorities. And this is kind of a way for the system or the dominant white community here to really be able to say, okay, who are the people we like, who are the people we don't like. And it's natural for an immigrant community to gravitate towards that, because you want to be accepted. You want to have things easier. So I think that played into to an extent as well. And I think you probably saw, even when there were a rash of hate crimes incidents, before and post 9/11, you didn't really see the communities coming together. But I do think that this is now a watermark in history. This is a real pivot. And I think you do see a lot of Indian Americans now coming out and expressing solidarity and concern. And I think you're going to see more and more of that now going forward. And to your other question about the caste system, I mean, caste discrimination is something that we have to deal with as a community. In India, it's something that affects all communities. It's unfortunate because it goes against the teachings of all our traditions, but it's something that over the years has evolved for a number of reasons and has turned into something that is discriminatory. And it's something that we do have to face and confront. It is an evil, although I don't want to conflate it with what's happened to African Americans and slavery. They're, I think, very different issues, but they both obviously have to be dealt with in different ways. And, we have to deal with it as a community, and we have to speak up for it. And I do think that a lot of groups are speaking up against it. I think, the Indian government has been taking a lot of measures to confront that. A lot of civil society groups in India and groups here too are speaking out on it. At the Hindu American Foundation, we actually released a report on caste discrimination a number of years ago to just talk about the fact that, first of all, that it is not based in Hindu teachings. It goes against the very great philosophical tenets of Hindu teachings and Hinduism. And it's something that we have to confront with, and we find the solutions in Hindu teachings and this concept of shared divinity. And so this is something that, we have worked very hard on, and we do all need to, as a community, deal with that as well.
Sameer ji, I'm going to stop you here for a quick break. We'll be right back. Break ke baad hum baat karenge. What do you need to do to be a part of this movement? How you can show your support and solidarity after the break. Welcome back from the break. आप देख रहे हैं Straight Talk and हमें join कर रहे हैं Mr. Sameer Kalra, the Managing Director at Hindu American Foundation. Sameer ji, unfortunately समय हमारे पास ज़्यादा नहीं रह गया, but we've kind of discussed this long-standing historical alliance that's existed between African Americans and Indians, dating back to the 1800s. आज की date में we are, hopeful to see more of that alliance. जहाँ जैसे आपने बड़े अच्छे तरीके से articulate किया that something changed due to immigration trends in the 60s and priorities changed, but now that Indian Americans खास करके जो overall बहुत well established हैं इस country में, they have a certain power, they have socio-economic liberties that are not enjoyed by a lot of other minorities. You could even argue that South Asians are one of the most prosperous minorities, maybe up there with Chinese Americans. So there is a certain power that our community has, and speaking on behalf of Hindu American Foundation, you are looking to encourage the community to use that power. So I want to close the program with this petition, and besides the petition, आप क्या बताना चाहते हैं हमारे viewers को, किस तरह वो इस movement को support कर सकते हैं, या at least it's not just going and physically standing in a protest to support the movement. There is various ways that you can show that you are collectively behind the cause. So आप हमें क्या इस चीज़ बारे में बताना चाहेंगे?
So the first and foremost thing, then, is probably the simplest thing to do, is for people just to learn about the issue with an open mind and with an open heart, without any preconceived notions one way or the other. And then after that, I think sharing some of the statements that have been put out there from within the community to show that the Indian community and the Hindu American community is saying something on this issue and does have a voice on this issue. Another way is that if you feel strongly about it, we have elections coming up very soon. Get out to vote one way or the other, whatever you feel. You have to exercise your right to vote. And I'm not just talking about presidential elections, but at the local level. Oftentimes, the policies that affect us most directly are made by our local elected officials, city council members, county supervisors, state elected officials, you name it. So voting. I think that is a huge, huge part of it, and making sure that you get your voice out there and heard. The other thing is that volunteering, meeting people from the African American community, listening to their stories, forging friendships with them, volunteering your time with different organizations that are doing good work in your communities, and trying to just, if you don't have people in the community that you know of, going out there and trying to meet those people and trying to connect with them and hear their stories and provide support in whatever way possible. And finally, of course, we'd love our statement to have more people to sign on to it. So far we have had over 70 organizations and individual leaders from the community across the country that have signed on to the statement. And if people are interested, definitely they can go to our website and learn more about this issue. And contact us if they're interested in joining the movement, or to at least sharing what we're doing and supporting it in other ways. Of course, sometimes, just actually, educating others in our community is important. Educating yourself, educating your friends and family, dispelling stereotypes, talking about the history, learning about the history between our communities, I think is also a great step that people can take.
Right, absolutely. And जैसे हमने share किया viewers के साथ, the history is definitely there. So we encourage everyone कि ज़रूर इस चीज़ बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी लें और समझें उस चीज़ को, उस relationship को, and hopefully we can all, work towards a better future. Mr. Sameer Kalra, Managing Director at Hindu American Foundation, thank you so much for your time time this evening. We wish you the best of luck with all of the projects that the organization is working on, and we hope you'll come back and join us if you have any more updates in this regard. In the meantime, you have a safe night. Take care. बाकी viewers को मैं कहना चाहती हूँ, thank you for watching. अगर आपके कोई भी questions, comments इस topic को लेके या कोई भी topic को लेके जो आप चाहते हैं हम इस show में discuss करें, आप ज़रूर हमें लिख सकते हैं. info@justbroadcasting.com, ashmita@justbroadcasting.com. Thank you for watching tonight. Namaskar.